Okay, thank you for joining me today. This is Eileen Nicole. So today I'm coming to you with some news. We are going to start today with prayer, like always, because this is a bunch of stuff going on in the world, and we definitely need to stay prayed up. And so here we go. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for waking us all up this morning to present this message. I know that you have a plan for me and for all of us. And I'm waking up every day to try to fulfill that purpose, um, which is your will. Thank you for helping us with everything that we have to do. I want to tell you that I love you and I feel your protection, correction, and direction every step of the way. I want to ask you for the forgiveness of my sins, both known and unknown, and even the sins I committed against you in my sleep, in my dreams. Thank you for all your help. I praise your holy name. And thank you, Holy Spirit, for helping me um, too. To Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, thank you for protecting me and helping me too. I love you. And with this prayer, I seal this prayer with the blood of Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So, you guys, there is a active shooter out here, and his name is, let me see here. I just had it. Well, anyway, so there's an active shooter out in Memphis, Tennessee, and he has been going ham since yesterday and, well, last night. So he just randomly started killing people. And for whatever reason, they still don't know why he started killing people, but he just started randomly targeting just anybody that is that he's seen. So far the police said that he has killed 4 people, and I think he injured 2 people. 4 people dead and 3 wounded after the 19-year-old man went on a shooting spree in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, in Reuters, let's look at this here. Yeah. And Reuters, so 4 people were dead and 3 wounded after a 19-year-old man went on a shooting spree in Memphis. His name is Ezekiel Kelly, and he was apprehended on Wednesday after multiple shootings. At least one of the shootings was posted on Facebook. I think that he was shooting several people on Facebook. I'm not really on Facebook like that, so I have an account, but I'm never really on Facebook. Facebook is kind of depressing to me. I don't like Facebook. Excuse me. So earlier Wednesday, police have warned the public to remain indoors. So they did kind of like stay in place order about this shooting. One brief video posted on Facebook showed a man rambling, "This is for real," and using coarse language as he opened the door of a shop and fired twice at the first person to come into view. I always am confused about why people do some of this stuff. Why are they doing this? And the only thing that comes to mind is that they are worshiping stuff that they don't understand until they wake up in a cell one day. And then they're like, "Oh, well, what happened?" Well, you were worshiping something, that you shouldn't have been worshiping. A lot of people think that ancestor worship is the way to go, but that ancestor worship will get you caught up, and you end up in jail and prison, and then find out that you have killed somebody or multiple people. And that was never really your intention. But you are, you have to pay for what you do. If you decide that you're going to worship ancestors, then you're going to have to take accountability for what happens after that too. Because you're taking accountability for what happens before, because you have the choice not to do it. So let me look. So this other article here is they arrested him. So this was at 8:28. This just was released in Eastern time at 8:28. So police arrest Memphis man in live streamed shootings. 4 are confirmed dead. All right. So a gunman who live streamed himself driving around Memphis shooting at people, killing 4 and wounding 3. Others in seemingly random attacks was finally arrested after crashing a stolen car. The hours-long rampage had police warning people across the city to shelter in place, locking down a baseball stadium and university. Ezekiel Kelly, 19, a violent felon who was released early from prison this year, was taken into custody around 9 p.m. in Memphis in a neighborhood called Whitehaven. So the first killing was at 12:56 a.m., so early in the morning on Wednesday, and officers responded to 3 more crime scenes before receiving a tip at 6:12 p.m. that the suspect was live streaming himself, threatening to cause harm to citizens. So he got up at almost 1, or he started killing at almost 1 a.m. yesterday morning, and then they just caught him last night around 8 or 9 p.m. So the suspect was live streaming himself, threatening to cause harm to citizens. Police then sent out an alert warning people to be on the lookout for an armed and dangerous man responsible for multiple shootings, and reportedly recorded his actions on Facebook. In one video, he casually spoke to the camera before opening the door to a store and then immediately shooting at someone with what appeared to be a pistol. 3 more shootings and 2 carjackings followed. Police said he killed a woman in Memphis as he took her gray Toyota SUV, which he left behind when he stole a man's Dodge Challenger across the state line in South Haven, Mississippi. Kelly was arrested without incident 2 hours after the initial police alert when he crashed the Challenger during a high-speed chase, and 2 guns were found in the vehicle. As the shooter terrorized the city, buses stopped, and the Memphis Redbirds cleared the field during their minor league baseball game. Police did not discuss a motive or release the identities of those who were killed or wounded. It was too early in the investigation to discuss how the suspect got the gun or guns used in the shooting. I mean, it's not rocket science. You can get guns anywhere. And there are people that sell guns that are legitimate citizens, and they sell them to known felons. They are not getting these guns. Well, you can't just walk in a gun shop. In some states, it's harsher to get a gun than others. And in Arizona, where I'm from, it's not hard to get a gun at all because, well, you don't have to have a license to carry a gun here. So you can have a gun. But it's not that hard. It's just as easy as getting drugs. You can get guns and drugs so easy in this country. So I don't know why they're trying to figure that out. I mean, I'm sure that they're going to try to track down the exact person who gave him the gun, or the exact, if there was some type of business that sold him this gun, they probably want to know who that is, which I get that part, but it ain't hard to get a gun here. It ain't hard to get a semi-automatic here. Um, Acting assistant special agent in the charge for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in Memphis. Memphis has been shaken by several high-profile killings in recent weeks, including the shooting of a pastor during a daylight carjacking in her driveway, the shooting of an activist during an argument over money, and the slaying of a jogger abducted during her pre-dawn run. Now, we're going to get into some of these three here. I understand it feels like so much violence and evil to experience in such a short time. Memphis City Council member Chase Carlisle said on Twitter, "We are so much more than this," which I agree. In February 2020, Kelly, then 17, was charged as an adult with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, using a firearm to commit a dangerous felony, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, court records show. Records show he pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and was sentenced in April 2021 to 3 years. Kelly was released from prison in March 11 months after he was sentenced. Okay. This is no way for us to live, and it is not acceptable. If Mr. Kelly served his full 3-year sentence, he would still be in prison today, and 4 of our fellow citizens would still be alive. I don't understand why he was out. I'm trying to figure out, how did you only serve 11 months of your 3-year sentence? Because here in Arizona, if you go to prison, you have to serve 85% of your time that you were given. At least 85. So he would have at least been serving 2.5 years at the most. I mean, at the minimum. So I don't understand. I don't get that. Strickland thanked legislators for closing what he called a revolving door by passing Tennessee's Truth in Sentencing law this year. The statute, which took effect after Kelly was freed, requires serving entire sentences for various felonies, including attempted first-degree murder, vehicular homicide resulting from the driver's intoxication, and carjacking. From now on, 3 years of aggravated assault means 3 years, the mayor said. We need the courts and additional state laws to stop this revolving door, and I need the public to make their voices heard by those decision makers. Yeah. This is just disheartening. But a lot has been going on in the city of Memphis. A lot. I don't know if you know. So, because Young Dolph died in Memphis, Tennessee as well. And he was in, this happened in November of last year, I believe. Yeah. And so it's almost November. I mean, it's September, but these kinds of things continuously keep happening for whatever reason. And yeah. So let's take a look at these other stories here. It's just been going down in Memphis. Not just that, it's just killings. And I think several other young men last year got killed right after Young Dolph got killed. So, I mean, it's just been going down in Memphis. And it's like, what's going on out there? It's going down here in Arizona too. It's a lot going down here. So this one here is hearing set for 2 teens in pastor's killing in Memphis. This is also what happened. A hearing has been set for 2 youths who may be charged as adults in the carjacking and fatal shooting of a United Methodist Church leader in Memphis, Tennessee. A juvenile judge on Monday set a September 12th hearing for 2 15-year-old boys charged with first-degree murder, carjacking, and other offenses in the slaying of Reverend Atora Eason Williams. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Because is this the one? This right here. That's so sad. This is Atora Williams. Let me see. There's no picture of her, but I do have her obituary right here. This is her. So pretty. Reverend Dr. Atora Eason Williams. She was 52 years old. That sucks because she was just living her life, doing what she was supposed to do. And 2 young teens come up to her. Let's see what happened. Eason Williams was found in her driveway with multiple gunshot wounds on July 18th. Video footage showed that the pastor was ordered out of her car and then shot before the vehicle was taken. Shelby County District Attorney Amy Wyrick is pursuing adult charges against the 2 teens. The juvenile court judge will decide at some point whether the teens should be transferred to adult court. A 20-year-old man has also been charged in the killing, which shocked members of the United Methodist Church in Memphis and elsewhere. Eason Williams was superintendent of the Metro District of the Tennessee Western Kentucky Conference of the United Methodist Church. She also was a pastor at Capelville United Methodist Church, and a graduate of the Memphis Theological Seminary. That sucks. They just killed her for no reason. I mean, they told her to get out, she got out, and then they killed her. That sucks. All right, so and then this other story here was the community activist. Yeah, so it has just really been going down. Let's see here. So, a woman has been arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a community activist in Memphis, Tennessee. Tiffany Wright was wanted on a second-degree murder charge in the August 13th shooting of Yvonne Nelson. Wright was arrested Tuesday in Memphis, the Marshal Service said. Memphis police said the shooting stemmed from an argument about money. Online records did not show whether Wright had a lawyer. The shooting shocked the Whitehaven community, where Nelson, 60, fought illegal dumping, blight, and other problems. The Daily Memphian reported that Nelson led a community development corporation and wrote community news. Nelson opposed the expansion of a waste facility and fought against a proposed manufacturing facility on the site of a former school. The state of Tennessee recognized Nelson this year with a proclamation naming her philanthropist who fights tirelessly for improving conditions for all. So Nelson's killing came about a month after the July 18th fatal shooting in Whitehaven of the Reverend Ator Eason Williams, a local pastor and superintendent of the Memphis District of Tennessee Western Kentucky Conference. And of the United Methodist Church. Police said Eason Williams was killed during a carjacking. 3 people have been charged. Hold on. Hold on, because that's weird. So this woman and this other woman is linked through this school, the school board, and they were both killed. Hold on, because that doesn't sound right. It says here that Ator Eason Williams, the reverend that we were just talking about, a local pastor and a superintendent of the Memphis district of the Tennessee Western Kentucky Conference. So a superintendent of the Memphis district. So Memphis School Board. No, this is a. Yeah, this is a. Let me close this. This is a article that says here the chief financial officer of Memphis Shelby County Schools will serve as interim superintendent during the search to replace Joris Ray, who resigned last week while under investigation over claims that he abused his power and violated district policies. The board voted unanimously Tuesday to name Tony Williams to the interim role. Now, Tony Williams, board member Althea Green, who nominated Williams, emphasized her long track record of success with the district and said that the board wanted to nominate someone as interim superintendent who had no intention of seeking the job on a permanent basis. We heard the public, Green said. We heard you cry. The announcement of an interim superintendent was the expected next step in the school board's effort to restore public trust and find a new leader for the state's largest district at the time when students and educators are trying to recover from the pandemic's toll. It was also one of the final actions taken by the current board. The newly constituted board, with 2 new members elected August 4th. Ray appointed Williams as financial chief in October 2019. So Yvonne Nelson is let me just put Memphis here. She was also she was also older. She was a 60-year-old activist. That's interesting that these two women are older. And this is a huge photo. Dr. The shooter sped away in Nelson's late model Infiniti. It was shocking. I'm reading this because it seems real weird, in my opinion. It's interesting that these two women were connected to the board, this school board, and one was an activist fighting against the illegal dumping of chemicals in near a school. The same school that this company wanted to move in on near a school and put their factory there, and also start to dump put a chemical plant there. Um, um, yeah, this seems a little weird. I'm sorry, it just seems weird. And I'm reading this article and it's saying that they're saying that it's not, there's not that much, um, they're not releasing, information about the shooting for Yvonne Nelson, who was the second person killed. Um, yeah. Whitehaven. What? Bethel and she was hold on. The active shooter just was caught in Whitehaven. This is all crazy. Let's look at this year, because this is seemingly all connecting for whatever reason, and this is just preliminary research, but the shooting shocked the Whitehaven community, where Nelson, 60, fought illegal dumping, blight, and other problems. That Nelson led a community development corporation and wrote community news. Okay, that's Miss Yvonne Nelson. Okay, Nelson opposed the expansion of a waste facility and fought against a proposed manufacturing facility on the site of a former school. The state of Tennessee recognized Nelson this year with a philanthropist of the year. Nelson's killing came about a month after the July 18th fatal shooting in Whitehaven of the Reverend Artura Eason Williams, a local pastor and superintendent of the Memphis district of the Tennessee Western Kentucky Conference. She was killed during a carjacking. 3 people have been charged. Okay, now let's take Whitehaven, the fact that she's also a superintendent of the Memphis district in Tennessee. And then now this is for the pastor, okay? Now the pastor's name is, Reverend Artur Eason Williams, okay? This is strange, okay. All right, so Reverend Artur Wilson, local pastor and superintendent, okay? And okay. And also she lived in Whitehaven, because this is where she was shot at her home. All right. Now, these 2 women had to have, well, I don't know for sure, but it just seems like these 2 women knew each other because they were in the same exact circles. So let's stop sharing this one and let's go over here to this other one here. Crazy. All right. And right here. So this is Dr. Yvonne Nelson, a lifelong Memphian. Now, she was the community activist, Whitehaven community activist. See, again, she's in Whitehaven. This is Dr. Yvonne Nelson. She was also, the Reverend was also a doctor. I'm not sure what her doctorate degree was in, but she also was a doctor. Community activist. Okay, community activist and former commercial appeal editor Yvonne D. Nelson was shot and killed this past weekend in Raleigh. She was 60 years old. A spokesperson for the Memphis Police Department could not confirm the circumstances surrounding the Saturday shooting, but was told by witnesses that the suspect fled the scene in a newer model black Infiniti sedan. Community members believe Nelson may have been a victim of a carjacking, as she owned a new black Infiniti, although Memphis Police Department has not confirmed or denied the theories. Iman Zenoria Mason, Yvonne Nelson's daughter, said that her mother's Infiniti was stolen in July. This story is being reported on August 16th. My mom, Yvonne Nelson, was driving a Jeep rental car at the time that this happened, so we didn't even know that an Infiniti was involved in this when I first spoke with the detectives. Zenoria Mason said, I don't know if she thought that was her car or she knew that was her car. and she tried to approach them by herself. Oh, her car was stolen. So she said, I don't know if she thought that was her car or she knew that was her car and she tried to approach them by herself. We have no contacts at this point. The visibility in the parking lot was very limited. The cameras were limited. Okay. So she thinks her mom may have tried to figure out who had stole her car, or if she thought that was her car. After moving to Memphis about 40 years ago, Nelson served the city in a number of capacities, most notably as an educator at the Memphis City Schools. There we go, because the other one, the Reverend Atora was a superintendent. Bethel University, Tennessee, and Lemoyne-Owen College, as well as a fierce advocate for Whitehaven. There's Whitehaven again. Nelson grew up, where'd he go? Grew up poor in Milwaukee, but moved in Memphis in the 80s with her son. Mason was born and raised in Memphis, and said her mother embodied selflessness even in the most strenuous financial situations. My mom taught me that it doesn't cost anything to care about the next person. Zenora Nelson said, you don't have to have money to be selfless. You just have to care. You can do things for your community, and if you don't do them, maybe no one will do them or care to do them. She said her mother gave voices to those who didn't have a platform and was a staunch community advocate. I guess living as her child, I never necessarily understood the impact of it the way that I do now. The things she tried to do and the things that she tackled, or things that she tried to protect the community from, she just always taught us to do more with less. Nelson fell ill in October 2021 and was told she was not going to survive the sickness, her daughter said, but after spending 9 months in a nursing home, she began to recover. She was released from the nursing home in June. She somehow magically got better, Mason said. I don't think she ever would have imagined herself going out like this, but the one thing that she would say about any incident is that she would have encouraged people to talk, not saying anything and just keeping the information to yourself, no matter how little it is. You never know how much I could help somebody find closure or resolve something. She would just want people to speak up. At the Commercial Appeal, she worked as a research and community editor of the Whitehaven Appeal section of the newspaper for more than 5 years. She also served as the volunteer president of the McCorkle Road Neighborhood Development Association. Otis Sanford, who was a managing editor at the time Nelson worked at the Commercial Appeal, remembers her tenacity as editor of the Whitehaven Appeal. She embraced the effort because she wanted to highlight positive things about Whitehaven instead of focusing on problems or focusing on crime. She embraced that very well. She saw the most prominent issues Memphians faced were remediating blight, illegal dumping, voting rights, and ensuring businesses were serving the needs of the community. Jason Sheriff, executive director of Respect the Haven, said Nelson has served as a mentor for him over the past few months. Keep the community foremost in your mind. Continue to fight for Whitehaven. She was vocal about illegal dumping. She was just a very vocal advocate for people, and I'm blessed to have been able to have known her and to call her friend. I think that they think something is going on with this, her being vocal about the illegal dumping. She founded the Developmental Intervention Model for the Assessment of Neighborhood Systems, which sought to provide behavioral and economic resources for youth. Community activist Hazel Moore, informally known as the mayor of Whitehaven, saw herself as a mentor to Nelson. She referenced the death of Reverend Ator Eason Williams as another example of community leaders falling victim to gun violence. They had to have known each other because she's referring her, and they're all in the same community and school circle. People in the communities never felt things of this nature would ever be happening to a person in Whitehaven, especially people like these two people that really love their neighborhood. This must stop. I wonder who put these people up to this, because it just seems like a battery was put in the back of those two people to kill these two women who were fighting to make the community better around Whitehaven. It just seems like that. It just seems like they were fighting to have a better community, and somebody killed them because they want to do whatever they want to do. Now, I don't know if it was tied to the illegal dumping. I don't know if it was tied to maybe some other things that she was working on at the paper, because she was the editor in chief. Um, and she was editor of but then this active shooter was caught in Whitehaven. Ain't that crazy? What is a commercial appeal editor? So in the encyclopedia, it says the commercial appeal. Oh, it's a and former commercial appeal editor. So let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this right here, because it says here in the encyclopedia, the commercial appeal morning daily newspaper published in Memphis, Tennessee, and one of the leading daily papers of the Mid-South of the U.S., founded in 1840. So this is a newspaper. All right, so I find that interesting that she is she got killed, and so did the pastor. I think that is very interesting. I wonder. I'm okay. So I'm looking for. Okay, look at this trash facility that. Um, all right, hold on real quick. So let's look at this real quick. Now, this story was published on September of 2018. Okay. Shame on you, you know better. Residents speak out against trash facility moving into their community. Um, Canadian Whitehaven is experiencing some trash troubles. A Canadian-owned waste company wants to expand its operations, and upset neighbors are saying not in our backyard. Waste Connections operations, the trash transfer facility on Brooks Road. Right behind it are houses, churches, and schools. Graceland, also not far from there. Oh, Graceland, Elvis's house. The company's plan to grow its operation in the Haven is causing growing concerns. You can't describe the stench, said resident Dr. Yvonne Nelson. Woo! I wish I could. It actually made me sick. Now, this is her fighting against this trash facility, this waste facility. Nelson said the Waste Connections business on Brooks Road has already brought enough misery to Whitehaven. People are saying the chemical odor is seeping into their homes. And at 2 or 3 in the morning, it's waking them up. It's stifling them. Nelson organized the town hall meeting Monday night after finding out Waste Connection plans to expand its truck maintenance operations. Whitehaven resident Beverly Robertson worries more trucks means more trash. Things like waste create real problems, health problems, vermin, rodents, and also the smell is very off-putting. Now, Um, Waste Connections backs directly up to homes in Whitehaven. It's a transfer facility, meaning garbage trucks dump their daily loads there. Front loaders move um, the mountains of trash to larger trucks destined for the landfill. Whitehaven's been Sandra Jenkins' home for 54 years, she said, and her home deserves better. We we still are proud of where we live and we want to keep it up. So I don't think putting that in this area would do any good. Waste Connection needs approval from the Memphis and Shelby County Board of Adjustment before expanding. All right, so let's listen to this news story here. Oh wait, it's right here.
Make a full recovery.
Trash troubles in Whitehaven tonight. A Canadian-owned waste company wants to expand its operations and upset neighbors who are saying, not in our backyard. WMC Action News 5 Joyce Peterson joins us now live from Whitehaven with details. Joyce?
Well, Joe, Waste Connections owns this trash transfer facility behind me here on Brooks Road. Right behind it are houses and schools and churches. Graceland's not far from here. Tonight, the company's plan to grow its operations is causing growing concern.
You can't describe the stench. I wish I could. It actually made me sick.
Dr. Yvonne Nelson says the Waste Connections business on Brooks Road has already brought enough misery to Whitehaven.
People are saying they can't open their windows, and still the chemical odor is seeping in their homes at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. It's waking them up. It's stifling them.
The same way you feel about your house, and the same way you feel about your house, and the same way you feel about his faith.
Nelson organized this town hall meeting Monday night after finding out Waste Connections plans to expand its truck maintenance operations. Whitehaven resident Beverly Robertson worries more trucks mean more trash.
Things like waste create real problems, health problems, vermin, rodents, and also the smell is very off-putting.
Waste Connections backs directly up to homes in Whitehaven. It's a transfer facility, meaning garbage trucks dump their daily loads here. Front loaders move the mountain of trash to larger trucks destined for the landfill. Whitehaven's been Sandra Jenkins' home for 54 years now, and it's a home, she says, that deserves better.
And we still are proud of where we live and want to keep it kept. So I don't think that putting that in the area would do any good.
Waste Connections needs approval from the Memphis and Shelby County Board of Adjustment before expanding. Yvonne Nelson has one thing to say to community leaders who let it happen.
Shame on you. Shame on you. That's what I say. You know better.
Okay, Shelby County Commissioner Edmund Ford Jr. tells me tonight that he is inclined to side with neighbors at this point. I reached out to Waste Connections but have not heard back yet. If you would like to attend the next town hall meeting, it will be September 24th at the Garden of Christ Church on Graves Road, starts at 6:30. Then Waste Connections goes before the Board of Adjustment 2 days later, September 26th, 2 p.m., Memphis City Hall. Reporting live in Whitehaven tonight, I'm Joyce Peterson, WMC Action News 5.
All right, so let's look at this next news story here. Let's just go ahead and go into this here.
Whitehaven tonight, where a neighborhood is fighting a new battle in its decades-old war on trash.
Yeah, just this week, the Memphis City Council, they placed a 30-day hold on approving that is an expansion of a waste transfer facility that is owned by the company Waste Connections. And neighbors say the area is already a dump.
Yeah, they're tired of this. Local 24 News anchor Rudy Williams is live in the studio with tonight's top story. Rudy?
Well, Richard and Katina, neighbors in the community just off Brooks Road, say when Waste Connections first showed up there, the facility brought rodent snakes and terrible stench. Well, their fear is that those problems will only get worse.
This house over here, the second one, right there where the car is.
Sure.
He's got the big C.
Patricia Snail pointed out to me the homes of neighbors somehow affected by cancer.
Her husband over in that house right there on the corner, her husband passed after fighting also.
And she says there's more. Snell's grandsons have asthma. Just like the cancer, Snell blames Waste Connections Waste Transfer Company for their ailments. Well, what we found here in Whitehaven, right on the heels of this Waste Connection facility, is a very close-knit community. Well, it's a good day today. The wind is blowing north away from these houses, but on a day when the temperatures are almost in the 90s, the smell can be almost unbearable. You could smell it today on the front side of Waste Connections. Willie Kirkland has lived on the street behind the facility for 40 years. He's worked to beat back the overgrowth on the other side of his back fence.
In the last 10 years, I've probably killed maybe 3 or 4 snakes.
Well, never mind the expansion that Waste Connections wants to do here. He's got clear feelings about the company.
We have rodents, and they're just not good neighbors. I don't want them in my backyard.
Well, Waste Connections says it's not their facility, but a nearby abandoned apartment complex that's to blame for the rodents.
Get the hell out of here.
Says even if the rats live there, they don't have far to go to eat. Live in the studio tonight, I'm Rudy Williams, Local 24 News.
You've started your business and it's time to register for a trademark, but where do you begin?
Former GOP vice presidential candidate and the former Republican governor of Alaska.
They are off the chain for saying that. That was from 2019. Now this is from 2020. If I can get in here. Oh, I can't even read this because you have to subscribe, I guess. The Daily Memphian. Oh, I don't know what the Daily. Yeah, you got to subscribe to get that. So there was an update on the Daily Memphian. The first part of the article reads that the council had rejected the company's plan to expand. But I just think it's real interesting that not only did this woman, those two women, they were killed in carjackings, both of them, and they were both fighting this situation. But the last one here was the jogger, and now I think this was let's see. All right, so let's look at this jogger. So this jogger, y'all seen this jogger that was abducted. This right here, slain jogger recalled as bright light with zest for life. This jogger right here was also a teacher. She was a teacher, leaning into the camera with both palms on her chin beneath a beaming smile. Eliza Fletcher invites students from St. Mary's Episcopal School to join her in signing This Little Light of Mine. Let's see here. Now, she was abducted near the University of Memphis. A judge revoked a bond for a man charged with Fletcher's kidnapping and killing. Cleotha Henderson looked like a whole tool. Look, hold on. Let me show you. This man looked like a whole tool. Look. Like they was able to he was probably down on his luck, and somebody was able to, because he abducted her, and they said that he kept her in that car for a couple of minutes before they drove off. So he's probably subduing her somehow. Now him are both just recently crazy, right? But let's finish reading this here. Who also has gone by the name Cleotha Abston, was arrested Saturday. Police detected his DNA on a pair of sandals found near where Fletcher was last seen. An arrest affidavit shows. The public defender representing Henderson, 38, has not commented publicly on specifics of the charges. Henderson previously served 20 years in prison for a kidnapping he committed at age 16. The case will be closely followed by Fletcher's loved ones, as well as many who learned about her only after she was slain. A graduate of a well-respected Hutchinson school in Memphis, Fletcher went on to earn a bachelor's degree in exercise and sports science from Baylor in 2010, according to a tweet by the university. Fletcher later got a teaching job at St. Mary's, another Memphis private school, which released a statement calling her bright light in our community. Liza embodied the song. Oh, okay. The statement went on to quote a book read at the school. The church senior pastor, George Robinson, told the Commercial Appeal that Fletcher and her husband, Richie, are both very active and great leaders in our congregation. She and her husband are both just inspirations. All right. It would be interesting if she was a community activist in Whitehaven. We are heartbroken and devastated. On Friday, a week after Fletcher went missing, a group plans to honor her with an early morning run, the Let's Finish Liza's Run event. The run was created to honor Liza and cope with our own feelings. Yeah, so that was the end. I wonder if she was an activist or anything like that, because that would be interesting. What? Okay, Liza Fletcher found dead. What to know about the billionaire heiress? So she was a billionaire heiress. The plot freaking thickens. All right, so let's look into this here. All right, so Eliza Fletcher found dead at 34. What to know about the billionaire heiress? This was from September 7th, yesterday. Family and friends are mourning the loss of Eliza Fletcher. 3 days after being abducted while out on a jog in Memphis, authorities confirmed the billionaire heiress and kindergarten teacher was found deceased on September 5th. Fletcher was out running on September 2nd. Security video per Memphis police showed that a person approached the 34-year-old and forced her into a black GMC terrain. 2 days after her kidnapping, announced that Cleo Abston was charged with kidnapping and tampering the evidence in connection with her disappearance. After police made the tragic discovery, additional charges of first-degree murder and first-degree murder in the perpetration of kidnapping were added. Her cause of death has not been released. After news broke of Fletcher's death, her family shared a few words about experiencing heartbreak amid this senseless loss. Liza was such a joy for so many. That's interesting that she was an heiress to a $1 billion fortune. Eliza Fletcher was the granddaughter of the late Joseph Orgel III. Before his passing in 2018 at the age of 80, Orgel was a billionaire hardware magnate and philanthropist. Currently, his company Orgel Inc., which supplies over 70,000 hardware and home improvement products to stores around the globe, according to Forbes, is now reportedly worth over $3 billion. She was a wife and mom of two. Prior to her passing, Eliza welcomed 2 small children with her husband, Richard Fletcher III. The 2 wed in 2014. She was a kindergarten teacher, worked as a junior kindergarten teacher at St. Mary's Episcopal School. After her passing, the school shared a few words in her honor. In 2019, she was a dedicated runner. Wait. Oh, okay. Okay, this is that same newspaper. The Commercial Appeal, which that other woman, the activist, wrote for. Now, many expressed their frustration with people blaming Fletcher for running early in the morning. First of all, running is a natural thing most Americans do. I don't understand why she's being... See, this is a lot of the victim blaming. Not that this man shouldn't have been abducting anybody, but that she shouldn't have been out running early in the morning. Like, stop. And share their own experiences as women who exercise outside at different times of the day. Right. This is interesting. But yeah. So, but that's interesting that those 3 are connected, and also, yeah, that's interesting. I'll just say that. But I'll just be continuing to cover this story because that is just too much of a coincidence that all 3 of those are connected. And, but it doesn't have anything about her in Whitehaven, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. Something just seems off about this. Like, this all somehow may or may not connect. I don't know. I don't know. This is just my speculation. And it just seems strange. It just seems strange, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next story. All right, perfect. So, let's see here. So the next thing is, hold on. Oh, the Aries Spears here. Ciao. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into this Aries Spears situation because the girl, look. Hollywood Unlocked is reporting that Aries Spears is breaking his silence on being on the big sexual abuse lawsuit that he's been hit with over old skits that include minors. It said, Jay Bling says, I almost defended your comedy skit until I seen that video yesterday. You had a kid in underwater running oil on you. WTF. I didn't see that one. You don't know what kind of trauma you gave that little kid. Yeah, she can be a scam, but the video had no point of nothing, nor was there a funny part anywhere. Like the funny part never came. It was like, WTF did I just watch? Yeah, and why TF did the parents allow you to use their kid? Wow. There was literally nothing funny about that skit. It was disturbing, and both of y'all should have known better. Now Tiffany Haddish just trying to say that she didn't see the final edit of it, but girl, you knew the premise of the skit, the premise in and of itself. Like, come on. Now let's watch this. Hold on.
If you remember back when that Arnold Schwarzenegger skit that we did, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the system, fucker. Get back, system, try to fuck back. You guys didn't know it at the time, and I couldn't say it at the time, but that's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's a shakedown and extortion. And I will just say this. I want to say thank you to the very lovely lady. I won't say her name. But there was a woman who hit me up on Instagram, and she wrote me, hey, Aries, if you need my help regarding and she also mentions the person's name who's trying to shake us down. As much as I want to expose that bitch, I won't say her name either. But she goes, if you need my help regarding the blank situation, have your legal team reach out to me. I've known this person for over 35 years. They're a huge scammer. I can prove it to you. Here's my number.
Look, scam or not,
Listen,
you still did.
This is an extortion case. This is a shakedown. And I didn't need my lawyer to tell me this, to say this, but I'm going to echo her words. We won't be shaken down. And believe me, it's bothering me not to talk about the skit, because Annie and I have been talking about it, and there's some very valid things I feel like I have to say or want to say, but just can't at this time. And I'm no coward. I'm not running from anything, and I'm not guilty of anything. It's the reason why I won't turn my mentions off on my Instagram. It's the reason why, I'm not deleting any of my old posts. And I would love to address it head on. Tony Montana, Scarface, balcony scene, shooting 1,000 Colombians. But I can't. I just can't. And it's paining me to do so because I'm a fighter. I'm not a runner. And my character's being assassinated. Again, I want to address the skit especially, but I just can't. I will say this, though, to the loyal listeners. If you remember back when that Arnold Schwarzenegger skit that we did, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the system, fucker. Get back, system, try to fuck back. You guys didn't know it at the time, and I couldn't say it at the time, but that's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's a shakedown and extortion. And I will just say this. I want to say thank you to the very lovely lady. I won't say her name. But there was a woman who hit me up on Instagram, and she wrote me, hey, Aries, if you need my help regarding and she also mentions the person's name who's trying to shake us down. As much as I want to expose that bitch, I won't say her name either. But she goes, if you need my help regarding the blank situation, have your legal team reach out to me. I've known this person for over 35 years. They're a huge scammer. I can prove it to you. Here's my number.
Okay, regardless of if she's a scammer or not, you still participated in that situation. You still participated in that situation. And that makes you a loser, Aries Spears. First of all, not only are you not funny, but you further are not funny with that skit, and then you put a innocent child in danger. And now that child is scarred, and they're suing you. And there's nothing wrong with that. it just blows my mind how he thinks that by him saying that this woman is a scammer absolves him from any type of responsibility on your part. You were an adult. You could have said, oh no, I'm not doing this. So what about that part? Regardless of her being a scammer, extorting you, or regardless of that, what about your part in the skit? Right. Like, I can't do it. I can't. So Aries Spears, I never watched him. He's just a joke, but this is even more, it just really brings home the point that children are vulnerable. The whole purpose of the skit was watch who you leave your kids around. And you, sir, would be the example of that. You will be the whole example of watch who you leave your children around. Because you're not defending what you did. You're just saying that, okay, but this woman, who cares that she's extorting you for this video? But the video is there for her to extort you out of. It's like if you were doing something with the child and somebody was extorting you for having this video. You still were with the child. You were still doing it. So regardless of their criminal activity, you were even more criminally negligent. And that's the whole point. It's like he's purposely trying to not get it. Your career's over, stupid ass. This guy is a whole jerk. Ugh. He's disgusting. Let's read some of these comments here. I was uncomfortable seeing the video. The child should have never been in that sick situation. Like, I agree. There is no reason why you put a prepubescent child in this video to make a point, in which you really never made. Only point that you made was the irony of the whole skit. You were trying to make the point of, well, there are predators out there that you should be wary of. But you were the predator. You. It says, Mercedes says, it doesn't matter what it is. Right. The video was created and it's disgusting. The end. You can't defend this situation. If it's extortion, that just means that the mother is wrong too. But Aries and Tiffany are wrong. Yeah. Boy, we saw the video. Just shut up and get offline. Like, right. Right. On the next order of Law and Order SVU. Like, seriously. Like an industry initiation video, but it was cringy. Like, who let their kids participate in this skit? Now, here's the thing. The mom, I read, we went over this yesterday. The two children, one is now 22, I believe, is now the guardian of the child, of the younger brother. She's the guardian of her brother now. So I'm wondering why, where's the mom? Now, the mom initially reported the incident in Las Vegas, but they didn't do anything because I believe that the officer at the time said, well, there's kids currently being assaulted or something like that. Was the statement that they said that allegedly that the cop made. That's why they didn't prosecute or move forward with the allegation or the formal complaint. And then she wrote a actual formal complaint after filing a civil lawsuit. Now, I'm sure that she filed a civil lawsuit. Now, this is the child of the situation. So he's still focusing on the mom. But the mom isn't who filed the lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed by the child that was taken advantage of in this skit. He's not talking about that. He's only talking about the mom. The mom initially filed the report in Vegas. Now, the formal complaint was in California because I believe that's where the she's now an adult, but the children that were in the video, I believe they now live in California, so that's where the complaint was filed. And so he's not saying anything about that though. He's not saying about anything about that. And he's making it seem like it's the mom who filed the lawsuit. It's not. It's the person who was the victim. The victim is the one filing the lawsuit. And she's now the guardian of the brother. So I believe them. So somebody said he looks like Harvey Weinstein. Once they deleted the uncut version, the guilt was there. Whoa. I didn't know there was an look, I think there's a couple of videos going out. I seen one where he gets in the, like, ugh, it makes me want to throw up. Oh my gosh. So both Tiffany and Aries are saying that this is a shakedown, but y'all, this talking about the skit without context, the internet wins. You wasn't no shakedown. You should never participate in it. We seen the video. What is he saying respectfully? Like, you guilty for being a part of such a vile video. Why would anybody agree to do something like that? It was never funny from the start, but you thought it was, so you're guilty. Well, shut up then. So they just don't see how wrong the skit was. Y'all guilty. It was disturbing. Somebody said, what the FFF, what is wrong with this, Nika? That's you in the video, just like that was R. Kelly. Like, seriously. And I'm gonna go ahead and like that. They knew what the F they was doing. It's no way you'll do a skit like that with a child. These people do anything in that industry to move up in the ladder. Most of them already sold their souls for the fame and glory. You're guilty for coming up with the disgusting, with the concept. Like, seriously. Like, what's wrong with you? I have no idea what him and Tiffany Haddish are grasping for straws to get famous is what it is. That's what it is. And because he is not funny, he comes after Lizzo. He comes after, and I think he even has something on Vlad about how he is like blackballed or something in the industry. I don't know. I think something like that. He was saying like, he went on Vlad, and Vlad will copyright strike your stuff, so I'm not going to play it, but he has he's been spilling his guts on Vlad for a long time. So like, do he just call this dude up and just they just call him up and he just goes on Vlad. Is that what it is? Like he's Vlad little. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, so I think that he just needs to get it together. Seriously get it together. All right, so the last story I want to cover is I'm gonna cover that in another story, but just real quick, I wanted to go ahead and cover the Azalea Banks clapback at Kanye West. Girl, look at this. It's hilarious. Hold on. Let's look at what she said. And now I agree with her on this a little bit. So hold on. Okay, here we go. Now this is from the Shade Room. So it says here, looks like Azalea Banks had a few things to say about Kanye West's recent Instagram post. She even took a shot at Diddy. Now, she says here, because, Kanye West been on one of his rants about Kim Kardashian, the woman that he begged to be with. And now he's mad at the results. Sir, you made that bed and you made it nice and neat and all that. You did a lot to make that bed. So, that's what you do. But she put, rap dudes will always band together in stupidity, as if anyone in the world will boycott Adidas because a group of men who can't stop calling themselves the N-word say so. No one boycotted RZA for letting a white dude spit on me. You all actually boycotted me for being a victim. LOL, Black women should never stand in solidarity with men who go out of their ways to disrespect Black women. If anything, it's great they want to boycott Adidas should replace. If anything, it's great they want to boycott. Adidas should replace Kanye with a Black female designer. The fact she probably put in the N-word, whines so much like a damn wet cat is enough to deem all Kanye West fashion projects effing lame. Who wants to dress like a crybaby who hasn't had a hot song in over 10 years? And then she puts, LOL, did hip hop really gloss over the fact that Kanye from South Side of Chicago bought a man a designer handbag? I don't know who she's talking about. LMAOO. This N-word is a clown. All these stupid, I guess, N-words rules, all these stupid rules of Blackness y'all are so loud, wrong, and uneducated about. Men in hip hop make us look so stupid. Kanye doesn't even know how to use a sewing machine. Why does anyone care what a 5'5" man with childbearing hips thinks about clothing? Kanye is plus size Lane Bryant, unwashed man boobs, hiding my teenage pregnancy from mom under champion hoodies. He can't even fit half the stuff he's always running his mouth about. Can someone tell Kanye he's too overweight and his butt is too big, and to still be delusional enough to think he's fashionable? I literally don't know a single straight man that wants to be 5'5" and thick in the thighs. Shut your fat butt up for once, please. About 88% of rap dudes are gay, uneffable, and can't figure out how to stop themselves from dying every other week. But they're up in arms about sneakers. LMAO, the effing stereotype of it all is truly astonishing. Kudos to the girls who are desperate enough to knowingly put dudes that have been in bussy in their mouths. Wait, what? That have been in bussy, in their mouths. Because these are rappers, ultra mega, and then LOL. How about we boycott Diddy for ruining Ryan, Leslie, and Cassie? They still had hits to make, and all Diddy did was make her unhappy and never let her release any music. Boycott this N-word for all the black artists he stole from. You N-words are pitiful idiots and bull crap politicians. So some of that stuff I agree with her on. A lot of it I kind of didn't. But at the end of the day, Azalea Banks was here for it with the Kanye West rant. You need to shut up and stop being so public about your private affairs, Kanye. Nobody cares because you're the one that sit there and wanted this woman. You begged for her. You begged to have her. So there you go. You have her. Anyway, so thank you again for watching. This is the end of the show. I will be back tomorrow, and I'll see you later. Bye.